In this tutorial, we will learn how to create a custom inspector for our DrakkarAction. We will start with an action that works similarly to animator action, provided with the examples. Here is the code for our action. We created an enum that represents the various functions our action needs to perform on an animator, such as playing a state, setting a trigger, setting a float or Boolean parameter, and finally enabling or disabling the entire animator. The execute method is structured as a single switch statement that performs the correct action based on the option set in the int parameter. We will implement the content for the show parameters and custom inspector methods. In show parameters, we will display the parameters only if the obj parameter is valid. If it is, we will show the corresponding data for each option. It is worth noting that you can use the rich text formatter in the strings displayed in your custom inspector. As for custom inspector, it will also be structured as a switch statement. First, we check if the object parameter is valid. We will use enum popup to int, which allows the selection of an enum option, storing it as an index in the int parameter. Then we add a new line using newLine. Remember, what we write in Custom Inspector is equivalent to implementing Unity's onGUI method, so you can use any other GUI function, such as GUI background color, to change the background color of a GUI element. We display the parameters based on the action chosen using the enum, leveraging a switch statement. Note that in the cases of playState, setTrigger, setFloat, and setBool, we retrieve the states, triggers, or parameters using Drakkar editor functions, which are particularly convenient here. These values are passed to string popup to string and string popup to int2 functions, which store the selection either as a string or as the enum index in the int2 parameter. For the active action, we will simply display a Boolean parameter. Notice that we use the version of the functions that does not display a label before the data. If needed, a version of these functions that includes a label is also available. Finally, we will test the results of our modifications to ensure everything works correctly. Remember that the source code for each action provided with the examples is available and is an excellent way to learn how to write custom inspectors. For more details, refer to the DrakkarEvents documentation.